Greetings Netrunners and welcome to the second part of our look at the Station 1 data pack from the Red Sand cycle. First off we're starting with Bioroid. We have Sidar Adaptive Barrier. It's a cost of 4, strength 2 ice barrier. Sidar Barrier has +1 strength for each piece of ice protecting the server and then the run. Now that is amazing because it's getting +1 strength for each piece of ice protecting the server, not behind it or in front of it, just protecting, which includes itself, so its basic strength is actually 3. And for each other piece of ice, even if they're behind it, in front of it, wherever in the server, if there's 3 pieces of ice, this is a strength 5, or if there's another piece of ice, 6, and it can just keep going up or down, depending on how many ice are actually protecting the server. So if you've got this protecting one of your central servers, it's going to be a brilliant defense, because if you have like 3 copies of this and put them all protecting the same server, they'd be strength 5 each, and they all have it in the run. Well, of course, that would be weak because of them all being barriers, but the fact that they don't rely on having a position within this ice protecting them, they don't have to be the foremost, they don't have to be the outermost, they can just be any position and still have that strength boost, is a massive bonus, and I will be using them in my Bioroid decks. Next we have Netrunner 2.0, a new piece of Bioroid ice, Code Gate, AP, cost of 6, strength 4, and has the runner can spend 2 clicks to break up 2 subroutines on Netrunner 2.0, and it has deal 1 brain damage to corp, major roll 1 card, deal 1 brain damage to corp, major roll 1 card. Now, that doesn't seem that good at first. The runner has to spend 2 clicks to break it. When you think, however, that they really don't want to take that brain damage, then they will definitely have to waste those 2 clicks if they encounter this, or use credits to break it if they can. If they can't break it though, there is no way they're not going to use the 2 clicks, unless they obviously don't have them, but they will do anything possible to avoid that brain damage. Next we have load testing, cost of 0, operation. When the runner next turn begins, he or she loses a click. Now this is just a brilliant little card. For a cost of nothing, you are taking away one of the runner's actions the next turn. If you have multiple copies of this in your deck, and you were to use all of them in one turn, for example, then you could effectively, for 0 cost, just reduce the runner's next turn to 1 click, and really hamstring them when they really need to be running on your servers. Next we're on to Jinteki, and we have Bloom. Cost of 2 to res, strength of 3, Code Gate Observer. You may install a piece of ice from HQ protecting the server, ignoring all costs for its first subroutine, and then for its next subroutine you may install a piece of ice from HQ in the next innermost position, protecting this server, ignoring all costs. So this is an interesting one for the runner to run into, because it's got a strength 3, it's not that hard to break, but if they hit it early in the game when they haven't got what they need to break it, then you can install for free ice protecting other servers, and another one protecting this server behind this one, and ignoring all costs. So you could put one of the most dangerous pieces of damaging ice that you have, one that's going to do brain damage, right behind this one, and the runner will then have to either abandon the run or hit it and take the damage. This is an amazing card for Jinteki, and it's going to be going in the spikiest Jinteki deck I have, in order to allow me to install all that high price ice for free, just so the runner can run into it early game. Late game though, it won't be as useful, but I can see this being a lot of fun if you manage to pull it off early game. Next we have Replanting. Cost of 1, operation double. There's an additional cost to play this operation, spend 1 click. Add one of your install cards to HQ, and install 2 cards from HQ, ignoring all costs. Now that's pretty big, because it's just saying you have to add one of your installed cards to HQ as a cost, and other than that, just 1 credit. So if there's something out there that you don't need anymore on a server, an upgrade you put in, you scored that agenda and it was stolen in that server now, and you don't need that server anymore. You just take the upgrade away, put it back in your hand, and install 2 cards anywhere for free. So that's a huge cost saver, and I can't see any reason why you wouldn't want to use that in your techie deck. Next, we'll move on to NBN, and we have CPC Generator. Cost of 0. Asset Advertisement. The first time the runner spends a click to gain 1 credit each turn, not through a card effect, to gain 1 credit. This is effectively turning the runner's credit gaining into your own credit gaining. Anytime they do it the first time, you get it as well. And that is just saying that it's going to annoy the heck out of the runner, and they will probably prioritize just getting rid of this, just for the effect that you will be able to just keep getting money anytime they do. And I am looking forward to seeing how it works in game. Next we have Free Lunch. This is an amazing little piece of ice. It has a cost of 3, ice code gate, strength of 4, and has hosted power counter. The runner will lose 1 credit. And then place 1 power counter on Free Lunch as a subroutine, and then place 1 power counter on Free Lunch as a subroutine. So when the runner runs into this, it doesn't do anything to stop them except put power counters on itself. You could put it in front of your most valued survey where you've got an agenda, or right in front of HQ, and just let the runner keep running through it and gaining the power counters on it. So that when they've got a really important run, you can just take off all of those power counters and drain the runner's economy. Just wipe it out in one go. This could be an amazing card if saved for the right time, and I'm looking forward to using it immensely. Next we have MCA Informant. Cost of 4, Operation Terminal. After you resolve this operation, end your action phase, so you want to be saving it for the last one. Install MCA Informant on a connection as a hosted condition counter with the text. The runner is considered to have 1 additional tag. The host connection gains, click 2 credits to trash this card. So you're forcing the runner to have a tag they can't get rid of unless they're clicking it and trashing the connection. So if it's one of the connections they really, really need and really want to hang on to, you can put this on it so they'll be forced to hang on to this tag that they can't get rid of any other way, or get rid of the connection that they really need. So this is a brilliant little sabotage card for your opponent's deck. Next we move on to Wayland, and we have Clyde Van Wright. Cost of 2, Asset Executive. When your turn begins, the runner must pay 1 credit or trash the top card of the stack. So that's just a nice little way to damage the runner repeatedly. The runner must either continue to play money out of his credit store or lose his stack. Some of my runners may prefer to have the cards in the heap, but most of them will want to try and keep those cards. And having to keep losing them, they'll probably want to pay the credit. He has a trash cost of 3, which is no slouch either, which means if the runner wants to get rid of it, they're going to have to pay as well. Next we have Watchtower, another new piece of ice. Cost of 4 to res, strength of 3, ice code gate. Subroutine, search R&D for a card and add it to HQ, shuffle R&D. So if the runner runs into this and can't break it, especially early game, you can search for the card you want, anything from your deck, and put it into HQ. That is huge. Any player in Netrunner on either side will know that having the right card at the right time can make a huge difference. And this card lets you do it. All the runner has to do is run through it, not bother to break the harmless subroutine, and they give you exactly the card you need for the situation you're in. So this is definitely a card that I'll be including in a Wayland deck. And I can't think of a reason not to, because although it doesn't stop the runner, it's giving you the card you need to stop him. Next we have Sacrifice. Cost of 0, operation. As additional cost to play this operation, forfeit an agenda. Remove 1 bad publicity per agenda point that the forfeited agenda was worth. Gain 1 credit for each bad publicity removed. So if you're up against a runner who enjoys employing bad publicity against the corp, and you've got a lot of it, then this card is good because then you can get rid of it all for just sacrificing 1 high cost agenda and gain some credits as well. However, in all my years playing Netrunner, I haven't run into that many runners that use a lot of bad publicity against corps, And this would have to be a very specific situation to make it worth getting rid of an agenda, especially a higher point when if you've got multiple bad publicity to get rid of. Otherwise, it's not really worth it, even if the cost is 0. So I don't think I'd bother including this one. And finally, we have the neutral cards. Self-adapting code wall. Ice barrier, cost of 3, strength of 1. The strength of self-adapting code wall cannot be lowered in the run. Now that is huge. It can't be lowered. So all the ice that the runner has, or viruses, or things like that, can't alter this one's strength. If you find a way, there's plenty of cards out there that can help buff ice, or increase the strength of it, if they attach to it. This means that this one, you cannot have it lowered. And it has an end in the run subroutine, which is perfect. There's plenty of plays out there I'm going to look through for this, and hopefully I'll be using in the future so we can see them used. I think this could be quite a strong piece of ice, not just in the early game, but for later on as well, just to stop especially virus decks that would lower the strength of it. Alright, that's all for this time, Netrunners. Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon with some games with these new cards.